Welcome to the Champagne Way,
a podcast devoted to living every day like a celebration.
It's episode 18. Welcome to the Champagne Way, and thank you for listening. So this episode, the girls have decided to give me a Bow-Tervention. Not needed. We're going to talk about Jess's nuptial news, and we've got Trina's chat pack. All right. So, Jess, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Luminor, which is a special edition of La Marca, which is the Prosecco that we all love.
Ooh, it's delicious.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a little smoother than La Marca even. It's got the La Marca taste.
Yeah.
A little smoother.
So I went to the baseball game in Houston, the Astros, and they did not serve champagne, but they did have a bottle of La Marca I could have bought for $42.
Oh, my.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I did not buy it, even though I really wanted to.
Oh, well, thank goodness.
God,
So.
that's a little bit pricey.
I had to save money for Bows.
How much was it for like the cheap bottle at the movie theater that one time?
Oh, yeah, it was like Corbel or something, and it was like $25.
Yeah, the markup on champagne in some places, it's like they think they're selling to amateurs or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a captive audience, so they're like, well, what are your other choices? This or nothing. So here you go.
Good point. It's a very good point.
So thank you, fiance Will, my fiance, for getting this. He was at the liquor store and saw it and said, the Champagne Way ladies will like this. So he got it for us.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
So that's my champagne shout out to him.
Now, didn't he say something to you recently about how he is no longer to be called a closet listener because he's out of the closet?
Yeah. He did. I think the last episode we referred to him once again as a closet listener, and he said, I'm not a closet listener. I listen regularly now.
All right, now you're a tink.
Yes, we're going to call you a Tink. You're welcome.
And so, Lindsey, can you specify what exactly that means?
So I think for our fans, they need to be tinks.
And what does Tink stand for? Like, where does that come from?
That's the sound the glass makes when you cheers.
That is correct. That is kind of. I would describe that as a Tink.
He's probably going to crawl back in the closet now.
Probably. So,
sorry, babe.
Maybe we should do a little poll about that. And if our followers love the name Tink, you should let us know.
Or if there's something else that you prefer instead.
You let us know that too. We might still call you Tinks though. And based on another person's recommendation, we might call ourselves the Champagners. Maybe. That hasn't been decided yet either.
Like campaigners, but champagners.
Yeah.
I feel like we campaign for champagne all the time, so it makes sense.
True.
That's a great slogan.
Well, we are up for suggestions, so let us know what you think. All right. Any more champagne shout outs?
We have another champagne shout out submitted from Marshall. He says, welcome back, Nick and Rachel, to Nashville.
Yay. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thanks for listening.
Woo!
And we have another one from me to my friend, our friend, Mandy.
Manda.
I had lunch with her today, and she reminded me that we talked about her on one of our early episodes. I think it was about the Valentine's Day haunted house.
Yep.
Oh.
And anyway, she was reminding me about that, and she said that we are the reason that she has the podcast app on her phone.
Aww.
So I was like, oh, well, shout out to her and shout out to us for making her get the podcast app.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We've obviously improved your life in some way.
Love it.
Oh, and guys, by the way, if you check out Facebook or Instagram, we're doing a giveaway.
Yes.
So all you have to do is tag 2 people in the post, and it can be Facebook or Instagram, and you go into a drawing for a champagne foil print of your choice.
And how long do they have, Lindsey?
We will be drawing Sunday, so you have really 2 days.
Yeah. So get online, tag some friends, help us spread the champagne word, And hopefully you will win.
Yes.
This foil.
Share the bubbles.
Share the bubbles.
Do it.
Well, isn't one of the foil prints, doesn't it say something, a bubble quote?
There's one of them that you can pick. It says there's no angry way to say bubbles.
It's pretty correct.
So
Yeah.
there's really cute things. So look that up. Tag, super simple, and you could win.
You can find us at The Champagne Way on Instagram and then also on Facebook. So look us up. So, Lindsay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we need to talk.
Like, for serious.
I'm
For
good.
serious. We think you might have a problem. It's getting serious.
Hold on, let me drink my champagne.
It's not with champagne. You can drink all the
you
champagne.
can drink the champagne.
All the champagne. It's a bow problem.
It's a 3-letter problem.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't see it.
Well, we do in all of the Instagram posts. And let's not mention the fact that right before the show, she was like, "Oh, hold on a second, we can't start yet because I'm about to win." What was it, an auction or like a?
Well, it's like you had to be the
timed
first
giveaway?
to post on these bows to get them. They're one of a kind bows, guys.
Serious question: how many bows have you bought today? She's having to think about it, guys. I mean, she's counting.
Seven?
7 bows today.
Today.
How many bows have you bought this past weekend?
Probably like 12.
Oh.
And that's just Friday through Sunday, not including today's? 7?
No, that includes today.
That includes today's?
But
okay.
still.
And then how many bows does your daughter have in her collection? I was going to ask for the week, but no, how many altogether?
total?
I mean, are we counting headbands?
Whoa.
Like all bows.
They're classified?
Yeah, she has, so she has 3 small baskets. One is hats, one is tiny itty bitty headbands, and the next one is medium headbands, and she has a huge basket of large headbands. And then all of her bows, whether they're itty bitty or humongous, are hanging, well, the ones that I have room for, and then the rest are in her crib.
Now, when you say headband, are these headbands that also have bows, or does anything with a bow, whether it's clip-in, headband, or anything, does that go in the bow pile?
If it has a thicker strap,
It's a headband.
and it's all attached.
It's
Because
a
the
headband.
bows I can usually interchange.
Okay, because I know she's got some headband bows, I guess is what those would be called. They're like hybrids of bows and headbands.
Yeah.
So they don't have their own separate spot. They're part of the headband collection.
Yeah.
And if you had to say how many hundreds you have.
I mean, I don't know.
And did this collection start before she was born, or did it really kick in after she
it
was born?
started after she was born.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's about to be 6 months.
Oh. So does she have, if you calculated days since she was born, would the number of bows exceed the number of days that she's been alive?
Be probably around the same.
Probably around the same. She could have a different bow every day of her life at this point in time, and it wow.
So during daycare, she can't wear the big bows, so she has to wear the little itty bitty tiny ones. But my daughter has a ton of hair, so I have to put a bow in her hair. I don't
She does have a lot of
Why can't
hair.
you wear the big bows?
Well, because it's daycare, it's going to be wasted. Other kids are going to grab it. It might get lost. It's just daycare.
Oh, okay.
So we only wear those on the weekend.
Has she ever repeated a bow?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh,
Once?
I mean, a couple times because,
As long as she's not photographed, maybe?
right. It's hard once I do a cute little photo shoot and then post it online. I don't like to put her in the same bow.
So, do you resell these bows, or do you just keep the massive
Yeah.
collection?
So actually, a lot of the places I get the bows from have a really great resale value, and you can pretty much sell them for what you paid for them. So, and I actually have a couple, I've got a couple designers that I work with, and I send them a picture of the outfit, and they make a bow special to match that outfit.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Your baby has couture bows.
Yeah.
Lindsay. Oh my God.
Or, I mean, it's just people on Facebook.
It's custom.
Yeah.
what are you going to do when she reaches the point when she no longer wants to wear bows?
Well, I'm sure she'll probably be in college at that time, Jessica. So actually, I have been. A couple people have reached out to me. A friend who is having a grandbaby that's our age. I call her Meemaw. And she does not like it. And she's like, please let me buy any bows that you get rid of.
Okay.
And then my niece Stacy, who lives with us, said that she would actually like to be the heiress in my will to the bows.
So the one who
For her
future children? But she's not having any kids anytime soon, because we're going to have us talk with Stacy if that's the case
Well,
right
she
now.
doesn't even know if she's going to have kids.
Yeah.
But she wants the bows.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, because she got a new bow in. It's a fall bow, and it says, Happy Fall, y'all.
Uh-huh.
And she's like dying over it. And she's like, I'm family. I get first dibs on these bows.
Okay. You're going to be like that kind of collector, that everyone's going to fight over your bows.
Well, I mean, I want to keep a couple of them because actually my husband's mother, had kept a bunch of her, his and his sister's clothes. So I have like a couple pajamas that I let Rory wear that were her daddy's.
Aw.
And they're all baby Chanel. No, actually, baby Christian Dior clothes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They're all
that's some
vintage
fancy stuff.
baby Dior.
Did his mom know how often that baby's like spit up, puke,
She didn't
poop on
care.
things? Okay.
From
so
like the 80s?
That's pretty cool that she kept those for that long,
Yeah.
though. Okay.
I don't even have a baby book, so.
But you do have 5 million bows. So,
So I want to keep some of them. And, I figured she'll wear them all the way up until at least, 8th grade. I wore a bow my senior year of high school.
you were also from like a really small town, and that was also like the 90s. I feel like there were certain things you could get away with at that point in time.
So, anyway.
Anyways.
I think it's fun.
I mean, we might have to have another bow intervention with you. It might be time to tame this bow addiction down.
Okay, I just think you guys should come over, look at my collection, look at her closet, and you're like, you know what? You could use a couple more. Because every time I grab an outfit, I don't have a bow to match it.
I mean, how many different shades of pink are there? 5 million.
Yeah.
You did say there were some in her crib, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I just have to hang another shelf. I had these little hanging shelves specially made to hang the bows. And so I had bought 4.
Oh
And they
my.
told me they would hang 25 bows each, but they do not because her bows are really big.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean they're in the crib, though? Like, can she sleep in the crib?
No, she doesn't sleep in there. She sleeps in her bassinet.
So they're just like all in the crib is for the bows right now.
Yeah, and now I've started getting necklaces to match the bows.
What? Stop.
No.
So cute.
We're gonna have to like
No,
cut you off at some point in time.
What do you mean
So
necklaces?
cute.
She's too tiny to get some
No,
necklaces.
they're baby necklaces.
No.
I was like, she can't strangle herself with those, can she?
No, because you can tighten them.
What?
Wait, no, but
What?
she can't tighten them, right?
Stab,
I can.
stab.
Like, here's her Maleficent bow, and then this is the necklace that goes with it.
What?
What does it look like?
There's like some beads and stuff.
Is that for her or is that for you? Is that like
don't-
one of those like teething necklaces?
No, it's for her. I'll show you a picture of a baby.
I
with
don't
it.
understand.
Like I've seen teething necklaces that look
Yeah,
like
I
that.
have some of those.
I don't.
But these are for baby.
Listeners, I don't understand. I don't understand the world of baby couture.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
I'm going to show you.
Lindsay has a really cute baby. When I saw her at brunch the other day, she was in a very adorable Disney Mickey onesie with a really cute matching Disney Mickey bow. It was really cute.
I had that handmade for her.
She had it handmade.
It's called a Grow With Me romper, and it will fit her for a whole year.
No, that's cute because it's reusable.
Here's an example of a necklace.
She'll wear it multiple times.
How does she not chew on that and choke on it?
Well, she just learns.
Wow.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that bow is super cute and it matches her outfit and everything, but I don't know about the necklace. I feel like that's like a choking hazard or something.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Don't worry too much.
We do worry too much.
Well, that child looks large enough to not choke on that bead.
I mean,
That one does. I don't. I'm just saying though, the bows. Do you
Only-
resell them a lot?
I have not yet. She's just 6 months.
Look,
But you own like 5 million.
look and listen. Only in the South do we dress babies like this. nowhere when I lived in Boston were babies like that. They pushed their children in very like comfortable looking outfits.
They were
in their
hipster
strollers.
babies.
They were hipster babies.
Well, I'm trying to think of like if there's something that I would be kind of like obsessed with as a parent. I don't know if I would get into the bow thing. I think the bows are really cute, and I do love doing my own hair, so I feel like I'd be that mom that would want to do like the kids' hair. But if I ended up with boys, I probably would go into like the whole bow tie thing because that's really cute on little boys. And little suspenders.
Yep, they do that.
The South, once again. The South.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know other than that. And like, I mean, you're lucky your baby actually likes keeping the bows in her hair because so many pull them off.
Well,
and
you
like,
have to start young.
so they're used to it.
Yeah.
And your baby actually had hair from birth,
Yeah.
and a lot of them don't, so they're bald. And I'd imagine putting a bow or a headband on a bald baby is probably annoying to the baby.
What would you have done if she'd not had any hair?
I mean, same thing I would have done if she was a boy. I'd just slap a headband on there with a bow.
Wait, I have a question. Did you see, I saw in the news that there were some parents who the daycare told them that their baby did not look girly enough because she didn't have any hair, and they dressed her in like the hand-me-downs from, I guess, their boy. And so in retaliation from the daycare's butting in, they slapped a Post-it note bow on their baby's head.
Did it say, I'm a girl?
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That is
funny.
actually pretty funny.
Because their poor baby didn't have any hair, and
Yeah.
so they just slapped a Post-it note bow
Well,
on their
actually,
baby's
yesterday
head.
was International Bow Day.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that why you bought more bows, or
Yes.
I bet there were.
did you get more
so many
bow sales?
There were actually some bow sales.
I bet.
And there's a big thing now where these designers are doing like these little baby moccasins, and they do all kinds of different ones. So that could be something if you have a boy.
Probably not.
I'm going to tag you in all of these.
I mean, I'm clearly going to dress my children up in like little rock star costumes
No,
and like
these are
with fake
adorable.
instruments, but I think that's really going to be what I'm going to do, guys.
They have like the ones with little skeleton feet for Halloween.
That sounds cute.
Yeah.
I would do punny T-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, they have those
yes.
galore. They even have a custom like t-shirt where you can put whatever you want on it. And it's just real fancy. They've got all kinds of stuff. You just don't even know.
That's it. You're going to be like the bow person. When I have a kid, one day you're going to do an intervention about how my kid or kids are not like a one kid rock band. And we're going to get on Jess's case about all the punny shirts. Mm-hmm. That's going to be it. That's going to be our obsessions,
You guys
apparently.
just wait.
Just wait. And then you'll have interventions with us like we're going to have with you with the bow intervention.
Yep.
At some point, we're going to have like clearly a Lindsey bow free-for-all online sometime.
I'll take a picture of a couple.
You should.
I feel like you need to do a picture on the Instagram that's just like all the bows and be like, if you want to hear about this, check out our podcast.
Yeah, well,
Just-
if you
yeah.
saw her post from yesterday, she had her French baby beret on.
Oh
I
my
did see
God,
that. It was
yes.
super cute.
One of my friends brought that back from France.
So you're going to dress her up like every weekend in like a
Maybe.
different thing? I feel like you should because you have so many bows that you have to like feature them.
It's true.
At this point.
It's true.
She should just have her own Boastagram.
Boastagram. There you go.
like
The
it.
Boastagram.
I like it.
She's got the hair for it. I will give.
We're gonna do hashtag Boastagram.
Boastagram.
I'll give your kid some credit. She's got some good hair.
She's losing it on the sides, and she looks like a homeless baby.
It's not because of the bows, is it?
No, that's not breastfeeding. And they say when that happens, both of our hairs will fall out, and my hair falls out in clumps.
I feel like your hair
Oh
looks
my
like
God.
thick and luscious right now.
It's gotten better, but it's been about 6 weeks. So,
Will
but
hers get better?
Yeah, it'll grow back. She has a bald spot in the back anyway because of where she sleeps, but
Mm-hmm.
then the sides, and then she has this really long part on top. It's funny.
Lord bless.
Dang. All right. So Jess,
Oh yeah.
let's talk about the Jess's nuptial news.
I guess I'm in the hot seat now.
Are
Yeah.
you married yet?
No.
Are you going to be married tomorrow?
I don't know. It could happen.
You could.
It could.
All right. Well, tell us the nuptial news because, like, recap real quick because
Yeah.
we've talked about it a little bit. You're not really wanting the big glorious wedding or whatever.
No. So look and listen. It's never really been my thing, I guess. I don't know why. It just hasn't.
Which is totally fine. To each their own.
The one wedding of mine that I planned was in high school when I was a senior, and I did adult living, and we had to plan a wedding project. And my groom was Brad Pitt.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
as they all should be.
Right. It was Brad Pitt, and I had a $10,000 wedding dress, and
Holy moly. You had a $10,000 wedding dress in your dream wedding as like in high school?
I had no idea what anything should be or what. I was just picking at random.
Was this like an economics class or something?
No, it was adult living. Nobody told us anything. It was all complete and utter shit.
I feel like your teacher should have been like, that's what you think.
I got an A+ on my project, okay? She didn't tell us anything about anything.
You know how I know you're from the South? You married Brad Pitt in high school.
I know.
In a $10,000
in
dress.
In a $10,000 dress. His groom's gift were Tiffany's cufflinks, okay? It was crap.
Very nice.
It was
very good thought.
Crap. I got an A+ on this project, okay?
So you've already had the A+ wedding planned out. So now.
Well, right. It was. And then we had mock wedding at an actual wedding chapel in this class. I was the bridesmaid.
I feel like I was the bridesmaid, first of all. There's a joke somewhere in there.
No, it served me well because then I was a bridesmaid 10 times over, basically.
In real life.
In real life. Like this class just... It was ridiculous.
But for reals, they had a mock wedding?
For real.
Okay, now that's only in the South.
Listen.
But in like the Southern South, not like my Florida version of South, because we did not do that.
No. Do you want to hear a funny thing? I wore my junior prom dress as the bridesmaid. We had this mock wedding at the actual chapel that my aunt got married at.
Oh my God. Yes, wow.
True. True story. Then we had the honeymoon at Opry Mills Mall.
No.
What?
That just goes a little redneck now.
No. We all went after the mock ceremony to Opry Mills Mall for like that honeymoon portion.
Now, were the people who were doing the mock wedding, we've gone way off subject with your wedding, by the way. So the people doing your mock wedding, were they at least like a high school couple or something? Were they two like randos in the class?
Randos
that were, like,
in the class. We
stuck
all
together.
We all drew out of a hat.
Oh my God.
I got the bridesmaid.
Okay, so we did the same thing, except not a wedding.
Southern.
We had to draw our occupation and our yearly salary out of a hat. And I was a maid, and I made $10,000 a year. And I was supposed to budget to live on that. But then you got to draw your husband out of the hat.
No.
And thank God I drew a doctor who made like $100,000 a year. So it's pretty easy.
Your doctor husband made you work as a maid for $10,000 a year.
Anyway.
Also, like, were you playing the game of life? I feel like your teacher just basically was like, hey guys, I don't feel like working today. Here's the game of life, and you're going to play
Pretty
that.
much.
And you're going to draw a card.
That's worse.
We had to pick out a house and do the mortgage and figure out our monthly payment.
Well, at
and
least
then
you
our
did that practical stuff.
It was practical for most people who didn't marry a doctor.
At least that was practical. Ours was just utter farce.
See, I did an economics class at some point that was required, I think, my junior year. And I don't remember anything from that class other than the one time that he made us plan our funerals. So that's what we did.
Whoa.
And I think it was like to teach us, like, I remember like learning about balancing a checkbook or something, but I do remember that we were supposed to actually like plan out and see like what does a funeral actually cost, or like all of that. And I don't know if that was just to prepare us like overall of like, hey, this is what's going to happen one day when you bury your parents, or if this is like I don't know, but I remember having to do that.
What? That's morbid.
Yeah.
It's morbid.
It's like, here, plan this in case you die.
Wow.
I mean, and again, I'm sure that we did do something with like picking a job and planning a budget. I don't think we did anything wedding related, but like, I feel like on those days it was just probably so normal that I don't remember it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, this was like a 2-week thing where we did our wedding notebook and then we did the actual wedding thing.
That's just crazy.
I still have this.
I'm probably somewhere.
You know,
I'm just telling you all this to like give you a lead in to like why I'm really not in the big wedding tradition thing.
So I think this is the new plan. You should find this old book or whatever and from your high school.
Okay.
And then just take pictures of you and your fiance and put them over the bride and groom face and then just like hand it to all your family members and be like, this is the wedding you wanted for us, but we're never going to do it.
But we need some help with money. Somebody give me $10,000 for my dress.
And then just put that all towards your honeymoon.
Well, it's so strange. I don't remember what the wedding dress looks like, but I know it was a Monica Luller dress that I picked. That was $10,000.
Lullier.
That one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marc Lullier.
I'm glad you knew how to pronounce that. But
That's probably still not right.
I don't know. But yeah, so that's my whole. That was the one time I ever was like planning a wedding. And then I was in 10 weddings as a bridesmaid. And I was like, weddings are crazy. I don't want any of this I don't want to deal with any of this nonsense. I got jaded and I was like, I don't want to do this when it comes to be my turn. And
see what you're supposed I was going to say, what you're supposed to do is definitely look at all of those and be like, making little notes of like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I do want that. I don't want that. And then when it comes to your day, you pick it how you want.
Nope. I sat
You scrapped
there
it all.
and I said nope. Well, first of all, I was like, I'm never gonna get married. I'm gonna be a cat lady and just be single my whole life. And then I met Will, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll get married. I guess maybe. But then I was like, I don't want an actual wedding at all. And thankfully, he was like, okay, whatever you want. Thank goodness.
I feel like the only thing that I expect that he should give you for a wedding present is a cat.
Well,
I know you've been working on it with him, but I feel like that's like the ultimate like gift giving thing that he could do for you is to give you a cat.
well, we've already talked about it. He can never go just pick out a cat for me because he wouldn't know what to do.
Well, okay, so maybe then he needs to be like, okay, like this is your wedding gift after you get married. Like we're gonna go pick you out a cat now.
Because he was like, what would you do if I just picked out a cat? If you came home and there was a cat waiting, I'd be like, what did you do? He was like, a cat just meows. That's all it takes, right?
Do you just pick one up off of the street or
Your neighbor's poor.
Right.
Trina's cat collection?
Right. I'm like,
Anything?
no, you can't pick me out a cat.
No, that's true. You do have to be the person to pick out the cat.
You have to pick it out.
That's true.
So I told people, and before I even met Will, I read in the Tennessean one time about a couple that went and got married in Italy. And by themselves, with no one else there, they just got married, and then they went and honeymooned through part of Italy and France, and then they came back to Nashville and had a big party with all their friends and family. And I said, just little single me said, that sounds amazing. That is what I want to do. And I kind of stuck with that. I was like, if I ever get married, that's what I want to do, hands down.
Run off to Italy, get married, and then just come back and party afterwards.
Like, that sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing, actually.
Yeah. And thankfully, Will is like, oh, whatever you want to do, that sounds good. We've looked into getting married in Italy. It's kind of hard for someone who has been previously married and is now divorced. Which is Will, because they're a very Catholic country. But we still just have decided that we just don't really want a giant wedding. We just don't want to spend the money. We'd rather that money go toward a down payment on a house because the housing bubble in Nashville has to burst at some point.
Yeah.
Or on a nice honeymoon somewhere. So I think we've gotten that point across to most of definitely our friends, I think, totally understand that. And I think we've gotten that point across to most of our family. Although I think every now and again we went to lunch with his mom and grandparents yesterday. And his mom just very nicely kind of mentioned to him, oh, you need to make a dentist and doctor appointment, to him. And then to me, she said, and you need a date and address because I know I need to come up with a date to get married, and I'm hoping, this fall sometime. But I just haven't come up with a date. It's like I know I need to do it, but I just haven't done it yet. And I was like, I know.
So I'm just curious, so now because of the whole, not necessarily wanting the wedding thing, that's one thing. But now, does a date make a difference? Because usually when people are planning their weddings and thinking of like an actual wedding day and they're thinking ahead, they're thinking sometimes about the actual wedding date because that's going to be the anniversary. So does that... I'm just curious. I've actually not really ever talked to anyone who's like had the intention of always eloping. Does the date not matter as much?
No. Like, I mean, I said sometime in the fall because I like the fall. And I'm just like, oh, I always like that season. But I also know the fall is a busy football time. So, like, we have some dates that we just can't do right now because, like, we're busy that time. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm just like, no, well, like, whenever. And
Okay.
the sooner the better for us is, like, for insurance purposes. And I'm just really bad at making decisions. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, I will say something for future Jess.
Yes.
Bit of
Trina.
advice based on what you've just said.
Oh, God. Okay.
Maybe don't have it in the fall then only because I'm thinking like future Jess problems, because you got to think about future Jess a little bit, you know? And if you ever want a surprise anniversary trip, a surprise, like anything like that, like to go anywhere or do anything, or even just having plans on your anniversary, the date is always going to change. Like the date is always the same, but the day will always change.
Oh, yeah.
So what if your date lands on a football game day? What if it's like your big 10-year anniversary and it's also the big game? I mean, you might think right now, like, that's the greatest thing in the world. But what if 10 years from now, you're like, dude, I want to go to Italy and I don't care about your stupid game. Or, you know, for him, like, hockey game or something. Like, I mean, that might be something you'd be into, but you got to think about future Jess. So that might be something worth, like, thinking about, like, when you place that date.
That's true.
Because there are going to be those moments, like, it's not every year. I don't think... If you're not the romantic type constantly who's like every year, like I need a big gift and I need a big gesture or something like that, that's totally fine because I'm not usually that person. But I would say every few years, you're going to hit that point where you're going to be like, I'd like to do something a little bit more significant than previous years for the anniversary. Like every once in a while, that's going to hit. Like last year, we did nothing. The year for that, we went to a football game. The year for that, we went to a Preds game. I would like to do something. Like, you got to think about that a little bit because your future self will thank you for that. Mm-hmm. So that's something to think about when it's certain times a year.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it's affected us because it's always around Labor Day weekend, which is, it was wonderful. Like, the first year, and then the next year it was okay because like we were at a friend's wedding and that was fine too. We were excited. But then it's like every year we have to think like, oh, every anniversary, are we going to be stuck at someone else's wedding or doing like Labor Day plans? That's the problem with picking around holidays. Mm-hmm. You never know if you're going to end up on the holiday or not. So, you know, you got to think about your future self sometimes and hope that you can, you know, end up in a spot where you're going to be happy with yourself.
That's a good point.
So... Yeah. And also think about all the places that you ever want to take an anniversary trip to, and think about that and the seasons. Because are you ever going to take an anniversary trip to Italy in like November? I don't know what their seasons are like there in November, if it's cold or warm or whatever. But you know, things to think about.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah. So that's my nuptial news. It's still, you know.
Undecided.
Yeah, I'm still undecided. But I'm still happily engaged, so that's what's important.
You know what? And the engagement period's a nice period. I don't know why it needs to be rushed just because you're not planning the big wedding. Like, enjoy it.
My mom's been engaged for 20 years and it's going just great.
Oh, well, see? Good.
I mean, who says it has to be on the like 2 minutes if you're going to be getting married without the big soiree? That doesn't mean you still can't plan it out and like pick your date and all that.
The only reason we're like in any kind of hurry is because of insurance. So
insurance.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, dang insurance.
I know.
Insurance is a pain.
It is. But,
Adulting. God,
adulting. But so it's still but we're still going along. So yeah.
Well, thinking of the honeymoon talk and all that, and
boy.
where you would go, or anniversary trips. Because we all can daydream about that.
Is it Trina's chat pack?
It's time for Trina's chat pack.
Yeah.
So when we were on our trip to Seattle and Alaska, on our way back in Seattle, I ended up getting this thing called the chat pack. And it is random questions to spark conversation. So I've decided I'm going to read one question on each episode and make these lovely ladies answer it.
Oh, boy.
And you can answer along at home. We might even post it on our socials just to like get to know you guys and see what kind of random answers you're going to come up with.
Yeah, I like it.
So, Trina's chat pack this episode is, if you could have any object or place in the world completely to yourself for one day, what would you choose?
Disney World. But then I think who would run the rides so I could ride them, and who would be the characters if it was only me?
Well, no, I mean, it says it does say completely to yourself, so that is correct. I mean, so that was a good choice and a bad choice all in one. I feel like certain rides, like It's a Small World, you could probably hit the go button and then still jump on the ride because it's moving slow enough that you'd be able to do that. But you'd have to rule out, like, you know, the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Because that goes from like 0 to 60 in like...
Oh, God. And
0
then
to
you would
60.
like never get off.
Yeah. I mean, I think they all have timers to like stop at a certain time. Like they slow down on their own.
I could like do like a little button thing where I'm poke the button from afar.
Yeah.
It would be anyway. So I'm going to change my answer. Go ahead, Jess.
Any object or place?
Yeah, I would go to Venice. Go the more romantic route because then it would be free of all the tourist crowds.
But you don't get to take your fiance with you. This is like if you could have any object or place in the world completely to yourself for one day.
Yeah, sorry, babe. I would just go.
You're going to have a romantic trip by yourself.
Yes.
Actually, that still would be nice. You could.
I would just go. I'd spend like 10 years since I've been there, and I would just go walk there on my own.
That would be kind of cool, actually. I think I would. I'm choosing inspiration from our champagne theme on the show, and I'm gonna say I would like to take over like the place where La Marca is made. Like I want to, or either that, or I want to go to like Champagne, France, and I want to take over like a champagne like winery, whatever it would be called, champagnery.
There you go.
I want to go there and I want to take it over for the day, and I want to drink all the champagne. I want to sit out and look over the grapes and enjoy it and just be like, ah,
Yeah.
I'm here. I own this for the day.
Make sure everything's like bottled and ready for you to go.
Yeah. I mean, because I would definitely not do any work.
No,
I want to go there and drink
enjoy.
and chill.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Venice, like to have like St. Mark's Square and all that, like to myself, like to sit there and drink some wine or champagne and.
That would be really, really cool. Now, so I'm curious. We all picked a place. So if you could have an object in the any object in the world completely to yourself for one day, what would you choose? I don't know about that. Like an object.
That's harder.
That is harder. Like what defines like an object that you would like just absolutely must have or want? Like, is there something that you want right now that you can't
Can
have?
I have like Harry Potter's wand? Is that like in the realm of fantasy? I mean, that's like the realm of fantasy there, so that's not really
like
real.
it.
I actually really like that. I might even steal that one. Like,
Oh, Rory has a Harry Potter bow coming.
of course she does.
Well,
Of course.
that's 1,000% acceptable.
If you knew what all the bows, you would think they were acceptable.
Okay.
And I mean, it does say if you could have any object in the world completely to yourself. I mean, it doesn't say in this world. So, I mean, technically.
Well, then I go all like, well, then, Lord, then why am I going to Venice? I go to Hogwarts. F that.
New plan. We're all going to Hogwarts. And we're stealing Harry Potter's wand.
Yeah. Bye.
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 I want his flying car then.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I want the flying car.
I want that blanket thing that makes you invisible.
That would
The
be cool.
invisibility cloak.
Invisibility
Yeah.
cloak.
Well, then, or like Hermione's like that bag she has in the last book where she can like stuff like everything in there, that purse where like she
That
can
was
carry
cool.
literally everything in
Or
there.
the time necklace.
I was just about to
The
say
time
that.
turner.
Yes, clearly we are all Harry Potter nerds.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely would want all of that.
Okay, we're going to Hogwarts. Like,
We're going to Hogwarts. That's our new plan.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to post this, I think, online and just see like it. For all of our listeners, if you could have any object or place in the world completely to yourself for one day, what would you choose? Think about it. We're probably going to post this after the episode comes out, so you'll have to answer.
I mean, it said the world, which includes JK's like mind.
Yeah, I mean, she's in this world, and she has invited us into the world that she created in her mind. I'm just saying, it all kind of
connects.
How do we know it's not real? We may just be muggles.
That's right.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think I'm a muggle. I think I'm just, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
We're none of us are muggles. I'm just saying.
Okay, well then, fine.
That's awesome, though.
Great.
Good answers, guys. I'm really proud of you guys. Y'all came up with some good stuff.
Okay.
We kind of went off on a Harry Potter rant, but that was good.
I'm not sorry about it.
No, not sorry at all.
Okay.
All
right. It's time for Jess's Drinking Thinking Cap.
What do you got for us today?
Well, so last week I made a bourbon peach shortbread cobbler with this brown sugar pecan crumble.
Ooh.
And it got me thinking, I want to make some kind of champagne cobbler.
Can you do a strawberries and champagne cobbler?
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like that could be a good one.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I have in my mind that I'm going to concoct. So I'm going to soak some strawberries in some champagne and make some kind of shortbread cobbler crust, but maybe some kind of sweeter crust. And then I'm going to do some kind of sweet crumble on top. Not necessarily cinnamon because that might be weird with champagne, but something else like that. So this is a shorter Jess's Drinking Thinking Cap, but that's what I have in my mind.
I like it.
Okay, but now you've kind of made me create in my mind something that I feel like you should make.
Well, tell me about it.
So have you ever had they're old school, but the cookies that sometimes have a little, they're almost like shortbread cookies with a little jam or something in the center, like a strawberry center thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to make a strawberry shortbread cookie with some sort of strawberry and champagne jam that goes in the center of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I feel like that should exist.
That can there's definitely that where you can do a champagne strawberry reduction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can make that really easily.
Yeah, I need you to make all of that.
And then you can do the shortbread cookie. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just had in my mind the cobbler type of thing because I made that last week.
Yeah, for some reason that sounds delicious, but now that made me think of those kind of cookies.
I don't know, the cobbler sounds good with maybe some champagne ice cream.
Ooh. Well, everyone, I have my KitchenAid mixer, and the first attachment I really want to get is the ice cream attachment. So you could do the ice cream, but really you could do some champagne sorbet.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, well, I need to try some of that. There was a place that we saw, I think, in the Green Hills Mall that had a champagne sorbet, and I'd never tried it, and I want to.
Or a rosé type of sparkling rosé sorbet.
That would be so good.
The frosé sorbet.
The frosé. I have had frosé, but not frosé sorbet.
Oh, because I did my delicious champagne popsicles with our lovely listener, Lindsey. Which I'm working on that blog, and I'm going to post those delicious recipes. But so now I might need to try some frosé, or also I'm working on some other. I have all kinds of wonderful ideas. It's going to be fall soon, so I'm on that kind of cusp in between summer fall recipes, and they're probably going to commingle.
I think you need to invite us over one day and just serve us all of these things because we haven't experienced a lot of these, and we need to.
I just have so many ideas that just bubble over. So that's just a Drinking Thinking Cap. I'm gonna just come up with all the recipes one day, and we'll just have a champagne eating party.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's time for Drink About It. What you got, Lindsey?
Well, so my first thing is kind of a big deal, and this is why I'm exhausted today. So about a week and a half ago, I went to my yearly woman appointment, and they found a lump in my chest. Oh. And they were like, we're going to send you to a breast cancer specialist and da-da-da-da-da. So I was actually fine. I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't going crazy. But I told my husband, I was like, there's probably nothing to worry about. He freaked out. He had a nervous breakdown. And then for a week and a half, he told me I had cancer.
Oh, no.
I know. He just thinks.
Oh, okay. That was a husband fail. He should have been a little bit more supportive, I think, for you.
So worried. His grandmother died of breast cancer, and we've had the absolute worst luck when it comes to stuff like this in the last couple years. Mm-hmm. And so my appointment was this morning, bright and early. And so I was fine until about yesterday at noon, and I had a nervous breakdown. And so I didn't get much sleep last night. And I was there for 2 hours. But the good news is it's not cancer.
Yay.
That's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that.
Now, it is something that they're going to have to watch for a while. They may have to surgically remove it, but it's not cancer. It doesn't look like cancer. It doesn't look like it's going to turn into cancer. So I'm drinking that I don't have cancer.
Hooray.
Cheers to that, because we don't want you to have cancer.
Yeah.
No.
At all. At all. So cheers to that. You have to keep us updated on it.
I will.
And happy, and cheers to your medical team, because I'm happy that they got you in and like gave you the news right away.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than doing tests like that and then them waiting like, a week or so to give you results.
And he was like, even though we don't think it's a big deal, like we're going to keep a check on it. If it gets bigger or hurts, come in sooner. I mean, so they were really great about that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you only broke down the last day, because I feel like that's a lot of pressure to take on for
I was
a few days.
absolutely fine until the last day.
Well, I'm glad that it all worked out. Definitely thankful for your medical team and all that for getting that sorted out pretty quickly, and that they're going to keep an eye on it and all that.
And Jay was trying to make me laugh, and so I dared him to put my bra on his head when the doctor came in, and he did. And it was
Husband redemption there. Well, that's good.
Love it.
Well, what else are you drinking about?
Oh, well, mine's kind of silly compared to that.
Oh, no, bring it on, girl.
seriousness. So Saturday, Will spent a long day car shopping. He's looking for a new car. And I had went for a walk and like did a deep clean of the bathroom and stuff. And anyway, we just decided to do some chilling on Saturday night and stayed up late. And anyway, we did a deep dive into HBO. And a couple of weeks ago, listeners, if you will remember, we revisited 80s cartoons and made mention of Fraggle Rock. Mm-hmm. And we found Fraggle Rock on HBO.
That's so awesome.
Like all of Fraggle Rock.
It's like vintage HBO.
Yes.
Does it still hold up to this day?
Yeah. I mean, we like pushed play and that music came on and we were like, wow. So we were like singing the song, like, do, 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 do. Yeah, so we like watched the episode and like, I mean, it's like 1 a.m. on Saturday night, but like it was.
Were you drinking? No,
I mean,
maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. But it was just good.
Coincidentally enough, someone walked into my office tonight and the guy was wearing like a vintage Fraggle Rock t-shirt. And I was just like, oh my God, that's awesome. And he didn't look like he'd have 2 cares about why I was so excited about that. But because I almost mentioned, we just talked about that on my podcast. But then I was just like, no. Never mind. Your interest is lost at the fact that I think your t-shirt's cool.
Love it.
But it was super cool. And I did think that was hilarious that we had just talked about it. And then I saw it tonight. And then you randomly brought up this. I was like, man, it's a Fraggle Rock kind of time.
So I'm just drinking about that. It was a fun nostalgia thing for us to share, especially after we just talked about it.
All right. Trina, what you drinking about?
Let's see. I'm drinking about a past fun weekend. I just had like, sometimes there's certain things that are just good for the soul. Mm-hmm. I had a good weekend of good concerts that were good for the soul. Mm-hmm. It was seeing my husband, who's a musician. I'm sure all of y'all know that by now. He's a drummer, and he plays with an artist named Jacob Powell, and they were opening for Corey Smith, and they got to play in a cave. Which was just awesome to see and get to be a part of and all that. And so that was awesome, and that was a lot of fun. Plus, it was like middle of the summer, so it's like you're going into a cave in where it's like hot outside, and on the inside it's like nice and cool naturally. So it was kind of like a cool atmosphere, like literally cold and also just cool. Plus, he had a photographer that was there taking really cool pictures, and it was just like a really good crowd and a really good vibe. That was just a lot of fun. And then plus, I kind of just like caves. I don't know why. They're just awesome.
I do too. I used to have one in my backyard.
That's right. We went like cave exploring one random night for my birthday when we did a sleepover at Lindsey's house.
Awesome.
So like I love caves. So I thought that was just really awesome that he got to play inside of a cave.
Yeah.
And if you ever look it up, it's called the Caverns, and it's like an hour and a half outside of Nashville, in between probably Nashville and Chattanooga. and it's just super awesome. They do a thing called Bluegrass Underground, and although they don't play bluegrass, other bands also play there. And that was just a cool experience. And then the very next night, we went to the Ascent Amphitheater, and we saw Jason Mraz. And Brett Dennen opened for him. But Jason Mraz, this was like my third time, I think, seeing him live, and he puts on such a good show. Actually, so no, this is my fourth time seeing him live, and he's so happy. Like, you've never just seen someone so happy and positive. Everything he said was all about love and just being like in a good place and trying to do good for the world. And it was just a nice way to like lead into my week. So I was happy.
Nice.
I had a really good for the soul kind of musical weekend.
Cool.
Well, so I've got one more. I went to Houston last week for work, and I have to tell you guys the story before I left. So it was my first time leaving my daughter for more than one night, and my mom was taking her to my hometown of Waynesboro, which is about 2 hours away from Nashville. So they come get her on Sunday. I like cry. I'm like holding her, and they like take her out of my arms and take her away. And then I sit in her room and cry for an hour.
Oh, no.
I was just like devastated. But anyway, the trip was fun. It was great. We got there, and it was a work trip, like I said. And we went to a liquor store to get some beverages for the downtime. And it was me and a friend of mine. And we went to, I think it's called Specs, but it is like the craziest liquor store I've ever seen. It is amazing. So it's got every type of liquor you could ever want, the biggest liquor store I've ever been into. But then it has a high-end grocery store attached to it. So it had all these meats, all these cheeses. I've never seen so much cheese in my life. And then at the back, they literally have a ton of caviar that you could choose from. And they even have some caviar that is locked up in a refrigerator with a lock.
Wow.
And I've never had caviar. And I got to thinking about Jess talking about how she had a spoonful of caviar like when she got engaged. And I'm like, you know what? I've got to try this. Now, you know, they had the $100 pot of caviar. They had the $200 pot of caviar. But seeing as how I've never tried it, I didn't want to spend that much money. I mean, I've got bows to buy. I can't just be splurging on caviar.
Right.
That's right.
So they had a 3-pack. For
boy.
$18.
Oh God. Jesus.
It's like, I'm going to get that. Right?
Oh,
so there
no.
were 3 different kinds. And there was like a salmon. There was some sort of truffle. And then there was some other one. Anyway, so I decided, because a lot of these people that were coming to this conference from Tennessee, I was like, oh, we've never really hung out, so I'm going to have a champagne and caviar party. And I bought little spoons and I bought little napkins, and it was really cute. So we tried the caviar.
Oh, no. I feel like this is an oh, no story, not a oh, yeah story.
It was so bad.
Oh God.
But I feel like that's how all caviar tastes. I just don't think I'm a fan of caviar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, look,
It tasted
girl.
like I made out with a fish.
Oh, no.
Maybe even like a fish splooged in my mouth.
Oh, Lindsey.
I cannot get it the taste off. Like, I'm on the keto, so I'm not having carbs. So it's not like I could take a cracker and like rub it on my tongue. I just kept chugging champagne, hoping it would go away.
Look, do you eat sushi?
Yeah, but I don't love the fishy ones.
Was it really salty?
You know how fish smells? Like if you catch a fresh fish and you get that whiff of, that's how it tasted.
I feel like what you're describing is the equivalent to like licking the like outside of a fish.
Yes.
Just, like fresh from the fish market.
Yes.
I don't.
And that just sounds like all of that is just.
I don't know how to. I don't know because. I mean, I'm sure we were at Harrods, so I'm sure even our spoonful was like some probably fancy schmancy caviar. But like it was salty AF, which is like what we like. It was briny and salty, which like I'm all about that life. So I don't know what
You
to
liked
tell
it
you.
though.
Yeah, it was so
Was
good.
it fishy? Did you feel like a fish splooged in your mouth?
Not that exact feeling, no.
Oh no, not quite.
I thought it was delicious, and I could have eaten like 10 more spoonfuls.
Okay, both of you, I've got to ask about this, like, because you see like caviar and whatnot, and it's like the little tiny eggs, it's like little tiny round things. Like, what is the texture like? Do you chew it, or do you?
Okay.
I imagine it's something that you almost just like unless it's not a cracker,
like
you just
pops in your mouth.
drink it.
So there's different kinds of caviar. You would know this if you bought the 3-pack.
I can pretty much guarantee
Oh my
to you right now,
God.
I will never buy or taste or try caviar.
From the liquor store, grocery store.
It was a high. They had a $200 thing of caviar in there.
But like regardless, I just like no. It could be $1 million and someone could hand it to me on a cracker, and I'm still not going to try it.
So one of them was black, and they were like smaller, harder. And then another one was orange, and they were more bubbly.
It's still
And the third one I didn't even open because I'm like, F this.
No more.
Have you ever eaten like the kind of like roe stuff on top of sushi?
No,
Like the little orange row you have.
I probably have, but like
It kind of would remind you of that.
no, I don't like fishy things. I'm just saying.
Oh, Trina.
What color was yours?
Will, what color was ours?
She can't remember even.
Because the salmon was orange.
Was that at least better? Because you like salmon, don't you?
Yeah, but I thought I would like the black truffle one.
But no.
I didn't. No, they all were horrible. The smell.
Oh God! See, anytime you talk about like fish things in general, I'm just like, nope. Mm-mm.
See,
I like picture it, and I'm already smelling it. Like
it's all like farmed. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all like farmed. There's no more fresh caviar because it's all been. There's just not anymore. It's all farmed out.
that's so crazy, though. Like,
Because like our guy at Harrods like gave us a little caviar lesson because when he brought it to us on a spoon, the way we kind of looked at it like, oh, he's like, oh, have you ever eaten caviar before? We were like, nope. And he was like, oh, like let me like give you a little caviar lesson. And we were like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would eat it again. 10 out of 10.
You were just happy that day and drunk.
that's it. She was like on a high from getting
No,
engaged.
it's just I like to eat weird things. I eat escargot and oysters and caviar
I
and
love
things like that.
oysters.
Look at her and her fancy palate.
all day long by themselves.
But look and listen. Where are your oysters from that you eat?
Like the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, look and okay. Hi. My oysters are from as far east as you can go.
Yeah.
There's you go. There's our difference.
So, well, I can eat any oyster. I've been to up east and had them.
Oh, see,
I've been
don't
in
you like
Greece
that?
and
Don't
had
you
'em.
like that brininess stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, what a Grecian
The
oysters
best.
taste like.
They're the best.
Oh, what are they like briny? What do they taste like?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I like briny.
Babe, are you listening to this?
Yeah, you got to go to Greece.
Maybe your new plan should be that you should go elope in Greece and eat all the oysters.
Oh, I think so.
They are an aphrodisiac, aren't they?
Yeah.
This has been champagne and oysters with Lindsey and
And
Jess.
I love green olives, which are very briny.
This is very strange. Okay, wow.
I just don't like tasting fish sperm.
That is just. I'm not even gonna know.
Okay.
All right. So
okay.
what else do we have to drink about this week, ladies?
Well, I think that's it for me. Now I've gotten my like. Now I know I definitely want to go to Greece and try their oysters.
All right. Well, I've got one last little
Yes, okay.
drink about it for Marshall, our producer, because he gave us back our headphones.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hasn't it been wonderful this episode having
been
headphones back
so
on?
nice.
We had a couple where we didn't do headphones and we were like, oh, that's fine. We can hear each other in normal. But apparently what we've discovered is that we all like how we sound with headphones on.
So much better.
It's so weird because we're literally sitting across from the table from each other, but like that's been wonderful. So thanks, Marshall, for giving us our headphones back.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's time for champagne trivia. Champagne trivia. All right, last week, the
Yeah.
question was the champagne coupe glass.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How did they come up with that design?
I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember what I said either. I feel like I said something that had to do with like the bubbles in the collar.
Yeah, I think so. I think you said
Or,
something about the champagne.
Collarette. Is that what it is? Collarette, not collar.
Said.
I don't know what I said, but I'm gonna say Koopa Troopa like a Mario Kart.
That's it. That's how it is.
How did you know? No, actually, so that glass, do you know what it's in the shape of?
No.
A boob.
Shut up.
I was actually just about to say that. I'm like, I feel like you're about to go boob with this.
And not anybody's boob. Marie Antoinette's boob.
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So think about that every time you're having a hot tub.
Hold up. But like, you see all the pictures from like the fancy like champagne towers they do at weddings, and sometimes they're using those glasses. Do you think that all the brides know that they're like, it's after Marie Antoinette's boob, or do they think it's just fancy AF?
They think it's fancy AF.
What? I read so many books.
Instead of perverted AF.
I read so many books on her. I never read this shit. What?
Well, I found it on the internet. It's got to be true.
It's got to be true.
Okay, tell more details. What other details do you have on this?
I just have that the coupe was adapted out of a wax mold from Marie Antoinette's boob.
I can't deny that there is some boob qualities to it.
Oh, after she was dead? What?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
All right, new question.
But that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And this one's not as sexual.
All right.
Or is it? All right. In one bottle of champagne, how many pounds of grapes did they use? Or kilograms. Whatever floats your boat.
Really can't go there with the kilograms.
No.
Oh, man.
My gummy bears are so fat after being in the champagne the whole episode.
I want to say something small. I don't know why it's coming to mind. Only like 10 pounds, but I feel like that's clearly not enough to go in a bottle. I don't know.
I'm going to go with 5.
You're going to go with 5 pounds? I thought 10 wasn't enough.
5 pounds.
5 pounds. Final
All
answer,
right.
5 pounds. Mine's 10 pounds.
And what is your guess? You can let us know on Instagram or Facebook at the Champagne Way.
What we may or may not talk about on the next episode. How many more bows has Lindsey bought? Did she try any more fish sperm?
No, I can answer that for you. I did not.
Has Jess eloped or made elopement plans, or just decided altogether that she's just not talking about any more nuptial news no matter how much we ask?
Who knows?
Who knows? Or has she ran off to Greece and decided to elope and have an aphrodisiac-filled, oyster-filled Grecian wedding and honeymoon?
Yes.
All of that.
You get it. We're coming with you. That's the case.
We're hiding in your suitcase for that. I feel like we should be able to document most of it live podcasting.
Okay.
Yes. If you think we should do that too, you should all start donating to us at the Champagne Way.
Heck yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
No, thank you for listening to the Champagne Way. Please like our page on Facebook and Instagram, and also subscribe, listen, rate, review our podcast on Apple iTunes, SoundCloud, or our website. And feel free to email us, direct message us. We'd love to hear from you.
You can reach me at Trina at the Champagne Way, TRINA at thechampagneway.com.
Lindsey at thechampagneway.com, LINDSEY.
And Jess at thechampagneway.com, JES. As the champagne.
There's 2 S's there. JESS. Jess is drink. Jess is drunk. No.
Jess. Shit.
One more time.
I'm going to pee on myself.
One more time.
And Jess at thechampagneway.com, I know it. All right, here I go. And Jess at thechampagneway.com, JESS. Oh. Well, they can email me if they want to. It's fine.
Good thing we didn't use your whole name.
Right. So good. We'd like to thank our producer, Marshall, for editing all of our podcasts. You poor man. Thank you to you and the Second Sound Studios for hosting our podcast.
Second Sound, making your podcast dreams come true.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Jess at thechampagneway.com. JESS at thechampagneway.com.